Hi and welcome to this video. In this video I get the Aero-Injector fitted to the aircraft and finish off the ignition system, so we're getting closer to getting that engine started. So join me and I'll show you what I've been up to. Come on now. I've fitted the spark plugs excuse me. I've adjusted the gaps to 32 thou as it's required on the lower plugs using feeler gauges. So these are the types of plugs which are supplied with the kit. So they're in, torqued up to 12 pounds-feet, 144 pounds-inches, and now they supply us with these HT leads. We keep, which have got plugs on each end. We keep the one end to go onto the spark plug like that, and then we route it to the appropriate coil, and we cut it off, and they supply us with the pieces to then go into the secondary coils. The lower spark plugs are fed by the secondary coils. There we go. Okay, let's show you how I put these HT leads together. So first part, we've cut it to length. For the Aero-Vee, they supply the HT lead. It's got the spark plug cap end on, but this end is the end that goes into the coil. So you cut it off to length and have to make up the coil end, which is a bit of fun. The hardest bit is actually getting this this cap on, which is good because it has to be nice and watertight. So I've done a couple already. So I've got this blank piece here, which is just the right length for how much I'm cutting off. I go around with my knife. I just score the outside, the sort of black rubber sheath around the outside, and then I put quite a tight bend in, and I run the blade backwards and forwards. But the white insulating core inside, although it's flexible, doesn't like to take a really tight bend, so it doesn't take much just to get it to split. I'm not sure if that will show, I very much doubt I'll focus on that, but it'll start to split down to the black core. The black core is a carbon conductor which takes the spark, or the power for the spark, to the plug. And these are self-suppressing leads, so they're really good at not producing radio noise, which is handy in an aircraft. So I'll just go around, make sure it's split all the way around, and then just give it a little bit of a tug like that. Now you can sort of see that's the core. It's got a little bit of yellow fibre there. That's an aramid section, or Kevlar section. I've changed the jaws in my crimping tool. This is my HT setup here. It's got sort of notchy teeth running that way, which just happen to match nicely with these sort of notches in here. And I just generally give it a little bit of a pre-form, just to make sure it's going to go in nicely. And then I'd put this in, but I'm just going to do it outside for you to see. So what I'm doing is I push this back, right back on itself like that, and I put that against this bottom edge here, and I poke this in so that the end of the cable, if it's too long, I don't want it to be too long, I don't want it sticking out too far. So I'll trim that so as it's pretty much flush with the back face of the crimp, and that the rubber is just forward of the, I'll call them arms, on that crimp. And I'll stick this in, and I'll just try to make sure that lines up. And I'll do several crimps going around. I'll go the first crimp, and that sort of makes it sort of reasonably triangular. But what I do is I go around, several times, like that. So I've got a rounded section here, and these now have pressed into the rubber, and there's no way that's going to come apart. I can now just pull that straight down onto that thing. I tend to plug that in first and then move this onto the weatherproof seal. Okay, so there's the HT leads in position. I've put some spiral wrap around areas where I think it might touch, and I've zip tied them to the push rod tubes here, so they don't sag down onto the cowl and get cut through by the cowl, which is the most likely thing to cause aggravation. So I've tried to make sure the routing is good, as you see there, right on the corner there. You see where it goes past the corner of the block. I've put some spiral wrap again, and whoops, and again here, just held up by the tie wraps, and the cowl should come to about here somewhere. Hopefully not touch. I'll have a real good look about it, and I'll relieve the cowl as necessary if I feel there's a need for it, to make sure that they don't get chopped by the engine rocking. Okay, here's the inside of the Aero-Vee injector. That's the slide, blue section there. I'm just going to put the cable in, and then there's the needle which has supplied as standard. This is the mixture control. That's in the closed position, so we're going to set that at 90 degrees for the full rich. Fuel comes in here, metered by this needle here. There's a little screw there, metered by this needle here, and that's the throttle stop. So very simple. There's a screw in the back here that allows you to adjust the position of the tapered needle. There we go. So can't get much easier than that. So I'm just going to stick the cable in and thread that through. I'll stick the top and bottom back on again, and there we are. That'll be where we should be. Okay, so here's our throttle set up at the moment. I'm not too keen on this extra throttle cable screw bit which they've included. It's a little bit chunky, but it's out of the way. And I've put a bit of heat shrink on the end of the cable, because I can just see myself getting caught on that. So there we have it. I can adjust the friction here, making it a little bit stiffer. This all the feel I want, or you can slacken it off, but it's not the easiest knob to twist to get the sort of friction, but I think that's about how I like it anyway. And then there's the mixture. That's yet to be set up fully on the underside, because I'm just waiting for a bit of tube. So what's up next? I'm going to make up a knee pad to go in each side, ready to be made up, because my knees just just rub, and I come up here right up against this cabling, so I want something to stand off so I'm not pressing against that. And on this side it's right up against the hard area there and against the piezostatic tube, so I want to deal with that. But we've got let's leave a bit of light in. There's the cabling all set up going down the side of that support piece, going down from the top longeron down towards the bottom longeron there, within their keepers. So that's it's pretty much all sorted out. The injector isn't fully fitted, as I said. Got to sort out the mixture cable section, and then the whole shebang gets sort of wire locked on for security as well to the Y intake brace. That's what they state, so that's what I'll do. There'll be nothing more embarrassing than having your injector fall off in flight. Other little bits which I've just done off camera, I put in, I don't know if you can see that, there's an earth there for that ignition coil, and there's one there just for the HT side. I have had to shorten the 2 bolts on each of the rocker covers. They weren't quite putting enough pressure on the cork gasket, and now they've got oil in the aircraft. We had drips of oil on the floor, so hopefully I've cured that. If not, so the exhausts are fitted, the gaskets are in, the thermocouples are on for the EGTs. It's not the most accurate place to put them. They're going to be cooler than the actual readings, but it shares between the 2 cylinders, so I can see if there's something happening different to one bank to the other. It'd be awkward to have 4 individual ones on the grounds that my MGL would need to then have an R deck to be able to operate all 4. I haven't got an R deck, I can't afford an R deck on top of everything else, so there we go, that's what we've got. Just a nice little simple 2 EGTs and 2 CHTs. The CHT is mounted down there between each cylinder. Well, there's the Aero-Vee injector, Aero-Injector, in position, fitted. You might be able to see, I'm not sure how well, excuse me while I wiggle around a little bit. It's got some wire locking going around to sort of hold it up onto the inlet manifold, just in case it slips out of the thing. That's what they show you to do as a sort of added safety precaution, so I've done it. I had to change my mixture cable from the one I had. The one I had a nice braided inner cable, the same as this, identical to this one here, with a sleeved outer, which worked, I thought was going to work really well, but it doesn't. It wasn't stiff enough to push this lever to the full rich position. It was okay for pulling it, but not for pushing it, so I had to change it. And this is a mono wire, so that's the type you need. If you're going for the Aero-Injector, you need a mono wire type choke cable to operate the mixture The braid type just aren't stiff enough. Yeah, so there you go. It's a bit of a learning curve. So the knob I've now got is this one here, so I can push to full rich and pull to cut off, and hopefully it will stay wherever I put it because of the amount of friction which is in the system for when I'm doing the leaner peak. So there we go. That's a little bit of a well, I'd like to have had the T-handle and be able to lock it, but there we go. I've got that one sorted. That's nice, and I've got something sorted out to go into there. I'm just waiting for fuel tubing now, or hose. Once I've got a hose, we can now put the fuel tank in. Yay! That would be great, wouldn't it? And then we could do fuel flows, stick a propeller on the front, connect up the gasculator, and we're ready to rumble, we hope. Hey! Anyway, that'll do for now. Well, that's it for this video. We've got the ignition system finished off, the Aero-Injector fitted, so now we just need to get the fuel system sorted out, the propeller stuck on, and we should be able to go for a start. That'll be exciting. Maybe in the next build video we might get to crank the engine over and make noise, but I'm not promising anything. So join me in the next video and see how I get on. Look after yourselves and keep fit now. Bye.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up. You can subscribe or even hit the little bell notification for future videos. Any comments would be appreciated, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Remember, go fly and feel the sky.